Hey there, my name is Russ Laggan, and welcome to the Big Agent Meeting. It is Friday, September 12th, and by the way, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I was planning on doing this show from my balcony. Let me show you my balcony here. Just got done with Mastermind. I got this great view out the balcony, and I was going to do the show from the balcony, and I stepped outside on the balcony. Look at this, guys. 103. Oh, yeah, by the way, if that 103 has been baking concrete and cinder blocks around you, it feels like 147 degrees. Step outside that door because I'm surrounded by everything attracting heat and metal. So anyway, I am in my hotel room in Phoenix, Arizona. Just finished up with the mastermind with the top 250 agents, solo and teams, and of course, our top attractors across the country. So fantastic time this week, feeling plugged in, feeling inspired, surrounded by amazing people. So you guys got to make sure you find a way to get yourself plugged in. You're going to have an opportunity to do that coming up with EXPcon. Bryon Ellington's going to talk about that later in the show. So to kick off today's show, well, let's jump right into Attraction Advantage, right? If you guys hadn't seen this already yet, Attraction Advantage podcast is live and in color. We are rocking and rolling, building up customers and clients on the podcast to make sure you guys get all kinds of perspectives on all kinds of different ways to do attraction. There is a recipe somewhere for you guys that will work for you. And one of the things we spent this week doing is working with the influencers, talking to the influencers, asking them what's working for them, asking them also, what can we do to make EXP better so it's easier to attract to? So a couple of things that came up that were really, really key, especially in the sessions this morning as we were going through the sessions. I think the number one thing that I saw was take care of the people you already have, right? Retention is the best form of attraction because the people that actually love to be here are going to be the ones that want other people to hang out with them. Like, hey man, I went to this party. It was super cool. Dude, you got to come to the party with me next time. That type of human mindset, which is like, I'm having a great time. You'd have a great time here together too. That kind of mindset is really important. So making sure that we're doing the things that make the people that are here feel loved, appreciated, seen, heard, and supported in taking their path through their business and getting their goals achieved. That's the number one thing you can do for attraction. And it came up a bunch in some of the conversations today with top attractors. Make sure you provide an environment where people want to stay. More people are going to want to come to that. And I thought that was a great takeaway from today. And of course, we can get into a lot more detail and traction items on how to do that in upcoming sessions. All right, so there you go. Attraction Advantage startup session for today on Big Agent Meeting. Next up, we have the one and only Ian Wheatley with KGCI Radio. Ian Wheatley, take it away. What's going on at KGCI?
Yeah, thanks, Russ. All right, if you're here at the Big Agent Meeting, you're not winging your business. You're building it. You've got the tools. You've got momentum. But if your systems feel all stitched together, or you're wondering if your tech's actually doing anything for you, how about we fix it today? Because right after the Big Agent Meeting wraps, we're kicking off the full-day tech stack takeover on KGCI Real Estate On Air. First up with Real Estate On Air Live, dropping immediately after the Big Agent Meeting, we are going into the full tech stack rehab, all right? I'll be walking you through what to keep, what to cut, and how to finally make your tools start to work for you, not the other way around. Then, right after that, we're straight into Friday Focus. 6 hours of strategy and systems from top producing agents and coaches, all about their essential tech, how they use it, and more importantly, when they choose to quit it. So here's your lineup. The Big Agent Meeting ends, Real Estate On Air Live, Tech Stack Rehab begins, and then it's the full 6 hour Friday Focus that'll take your systems from scattered to strategic. That entire lineup streaming live today inside of the always free KGCI Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android. The replays will be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, and now on YouTube Music. So make sure that you're subscribed wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Today's the day we break your addiction to your busted tech. Your tech stack detox starts next, right here on KGCI Real Estate On Air.
All right, there you go, Ian Wheatley. I cannot wait to see you at EXPcon coming up really soon. I want to be able to spend some time with you in the fishbowl, where he actually broadcasts live from EXPcon. It should be a great show. He's going to be running right out of there, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with you in the glass bubble you call the studio there at EXPcon. All right, next up, we have the one and only Holly Mabery. I was just hugging on her here today. She's in Phoenix here with us because she lives not that far away, and she's also going to be doing the QBR quarterly business review. Man, I stumbled through that one, right? So with that said, Holly Mabery, take it away.
You and I have had a lot of conversations with regard to what's going on in the market and the shift. And I wanted today to give you some ideas around sitting with sellers because we're seeing inventory rising. And last week, I gave you a lot of tips and tricks as far as conversations to have with sellers, maybe who were delayed on the market, maybe didn't find the actual results they were looking for this past spring. But there's some headlines that I really want to hit on before we get into that conversation. First, this came out of Realtor.com earlier this week. 10 real estate markets where home prices are falling. Now, this is what I'll say. 4.9%, yeah, that's dropping down since 2024, but those prices are still pretty high. And many people have seen double-digit equity since they purchased, especially if it's more than 5 years ago. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, this was another headline that I saw on Instagram that I wanted to grab. It's so critical that when you and I see maps with a whole lot of red, we dial in and we focus on what's happening locally. These will grab our sellers' attention and buyers of like, oh my gosh, I can get a better deal in Texas. Okay, potentially. Let's talk about the neighborhood you're looking for. Let's talk about what's important to you. Let's talk about the type of house you want, square footage, condition, all of those factors. Sellers need to understand what the buyer's logic is right now because they're not buying on emotion. And it's definitely a deeper conversation than just about rates. We are anticipating another rate drop coming later this year, but how you and I have the conversation becomes really, really important. So let's talk about market context. I want you to go really deep on days on market is increasing for sellers. We've been seeing it steadily creep up anywhere from 50 to 60 days, depending on the market. Also, I want you to have a plan for actionable strategies. What could that look like for you and the seller to have a conversation about their specific house in that market and how you go forward? Also with the inventory rising and also buyer mindset. What's happening in your neighborhood? What have you been negotiating? What have you seen in the last few negotiations? And then, of course, my favorite stat, NAR is still saying about 90% of clients, yeah, they're using you and I. They're using a licensed professional to help them find their property. So let's get to pricing and position. This is where it gets fun and really focused. I want you to focus on the current competition. I've been at the agent masterminds for EXP the last couple of days. And what I love about this is I was visiting with an agent out of the Bay Area, and she said, my strategy is very clear right now. I will pull the current listings that are most comparable or the competition to the listing I'm going out to take a look at. And I will pull those, I will pull days on market, and I'll pull their recent price reduction. Now, this is what's so key that she told me. She's breaking down on that days on market versus recent reductions. And this is the strategy. Reduction plus more days on market equals still overpriced. And so that's where I really want you to have that conversation with the seller. Now, of course, you and I have been talking a lot about the sweet spot really being anything that's gone under contract in the last 30 days. So those pendings, those contingent, all of those make a difference, and I'm pulling those. What's lovely about this conversation is she's sitting with her seller and saying, this is what the market is saying. I can list your house, but this is what the market is saying. And if the seller's like, but I just want to try this much higher, this is where you and I have to make a decision. Is it more important to take the listing, or is it more important to walk away and tell the seller no, that they're overpriced? Every market is different. Every situation is unique, and you know what you need to do for your business. So a couple of conversation starters to kind of help you keep going. Setting the stage. And these are some different scripts that you might consider as you work through your listing presentation, working through comparables with the seller, and talking about strategy, right? You want to start with their goals. You want to talk about, is it about time? Is it about money? Or a little bit of both. As a result, how you communicate that, how you come across, how you embrace what their goals are and show them a path makes a difference. Now, I call this next one the hook, but it's really kind of key because if you're having the conversation around, look, at a shifting market, price is the hook that drives buyers in. You and I know that it's all about the internet. People are shopping online. They are perusing everything. They're not getting in their car and driving neighborhoods. As a result, They may be shopping on price. Show me this price range in this neighborhood with this square footage. They're not even getting that preview of a house and driving by and going, oh, that's pretty. I wonder what that's listed for. It's all about price online. As a result, that's how you get your first introduction to buyers. That buyer mindset then becomes, hey, buyers today are asking, what's it worth? If I'm going to put my money down and I'm going to live here for a while, what's it worth today, and am I going to lose money? And I was talking to a buyer recently, and they said, I bought this house next to me. It was so important. It was an investor. And they said, look, I'm not looking to do anything with this except an investment, and I'm going to own it for the next 10 years. So yeah, could I have overpaid today? I'm fine with that, because 10 years from now, it won't matter. Those are things to keep in mind. Now, power of pendings, this is your flex. What was that sweet spot that helped somebody fall in love and actually write an offer, communicate and get under that contract and go through that process? This is a really great script to kind of put you through that with the seller. Looking at the last 30 days, and I'm pro the last 30 days. Then I want you to look at traffic. How much feedback are you getting in showings? It makes a huge difference. Now, this is the other key. 14 days on the market, no showings, no offers. The market's spoken. I really want you to dial in. If you are more than 14 days on the market, be proactive with your seller, having those conversations. It's time to take a reduction. Now, let's talk about the reduction conversation. It's really important when you have this conversation. It's really about, what have the buyers said that have come through the house? If you've had no showings, they have decided that you're not even worth getting in their car to drive to the property. That's pretty substantial. You're kind of missing the mark. Now, if you've had a lot of showings, but nobody was just quite ready there, okay, great. What did that look like? Did they go buy something else? Did they not like the carpet? Did they not like the paint? Like, those are all fixable things that you can take advantage of. And those are conversations to have with the seller. What are they willing to overcome? Because most things you can overcome either with price or condition. Maybe some terms. What concessions are you willing to make? Now, there's another strategy I want to add to your playbook. And this is one that I only use on rare occasions, but we're seeing a little bit more opportunity right now. And this is called the reverse offer. This puts your seller in kind of that power play position. And there's a couple of different ways you can use this, right? If you've got verbal offers, and I see it a lot in commercial. Somebody will call and say, hey, tell your seller I'll offer them, $575. I know you're listed at $630, but I'll offer $575 and we can close in 30 days. Okay, great. What else do you want? Like, when you look at a residential transaction, how long's your inspection period? Are you cash? Are you financing? All of those things. So as a seller, I can actually draft an offer of the price I would accept, the terms I would accept, and I can submit it to the buyer. It's a reverse strategy that gets the buyer on the stick. Now, the other time you can use that is if you've got an unrepresented buyer. Buyer doesn't want an agent in their life. They just want to go it alone, but they don't necessarily have the paperwork. Okay. You as the listing agent can craft the paperwork on behalf of your seller and submit it to the buyer for their review with their counsel, whoever it might be. And then finally, the last would be, if you're getting multiple showings by the same couple and they just can't make a decision, okay, this is how you help them. This is what we're willing to take. We see you, we're interested, we're motivated. Let's work together. So those are some opportunities in that reverse market strategy. Now, when you go into the strategy, it's really important to break down like a couple of things. You want to have the sellers control the price, the terms, the expiration. And there's always an expiration on that offer. They're not signing it. They're submitting a written offer to the buyer unsigned, right? Because if you look at the way our offers usually come across, buyer signs first, then seller. Well, if the seller signs, they already automatically accept anything the buyer does. No, we don't want to do that. So submit it to the buyer, let them know they have so long to respond or counter, and it gets that movement. Now, you might look at it after 2 showings. It's up to you. I want you to set parameters for your seller. And this is where, if I'm going into a listing presentation and I'm talking about what I can do, how I can be creative in this market, I'm outlining this as one of the many tools in our toolbox. So I'm designing this around, hey, you just told me you want a quick close. You want to move as quickly as possible. Great. If we get a couple of showings by the same buyer, this is a tool that we can pull out. And if that buyer doesn't work, we'll go to the next one. The other thing I want you to think about is how we proactively pursue the right buyer for your property. It's not just about marketing or putting the sign in the yard, even photos. It's about how we actually put to paper what you're willing to do. It's a mindset shift. It's not for every seller, but it's an opportunity to be more progressive and a little bit more proactive. So at the end of the day, I want you to think about your language because words matter. The preparation and framing you do, local matters. So focus on what's happening for your buyers and actually your sellers. What do they need? What are their goals? Setting those expectations of how you serve them and go to next. And then bring your support materials, right? I want you to have your listing kit. And if you go to Canva or you go to EXP, our EXP toolkit for sellers, my goodness, you can customize everything to meet with someone, as well as all the data from RPR or MLS or whatever source you're using to help guide the seller on best pricing. All of that makes a difference because you're showing up for them and you're earning their trust right from the outgo. Remember, the seller toolkit, if you go to exptoolkit.com/sellers, you can absolutely access everything we've got, including all the training that Leo and I have been doing for the last 2 years. Additionally, if you like the scripts that I gave you today, here's a QR code. You can download any of them, and I'd love to know how you're using them in your next listing presentation.
All right, there you go. Holly Mabery, always making sure you guys know what's going on in the market and what you guys need to take your business to the next level. Thank you very much for that. I love seeing you here in Phoenix in person. So with that, we have the one and only Bryon Ellington, who's also here in Phoenix. Bryon Ellington is going to be talking about why agents should go to EXPcon. You guys want to check this out. Bryon, take it away, brother.
So you're thinking about going to EXPcon, but you're wondering, can I afford the expense? And that is the issue, because done right, it's not an expense. It's an investment in your business that will more than pay for itself if you work it properly. So let's talk about how to do that. First, let's be real about the cost. All things told, ticket, airfare, travel, all the incidentals and whatnot, we're talking about somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000. But remember, this is a business trip. Talk to your accountant about that. I'm not here to get us both in trouble and give you bad tax advice, but some of that may be deductible. Let's just say that. Regardless, the median sales price in this country, $410,000, which means even before you cap, one deal would more than pay for this trip and give you plenty of money left over. So how can EXPcon give you at least one deal? I'm glad you asked. So we're going to talk about a few different ways in which you're going to make this trip pay for itself. The first, become a master of agent-to-agent referrals. Now, my friend Shannon Maxwell, icon agent in Tennessee, she does over 70 to 80 agent-to-agent referrals per year by going to events like EXPcon and meeting other agents. So here's two things you're going to do to prepare. First, we're going to look for the migratory cities people are moving out of to move to your town. Now, that information is readily available from your Chamber of Commerce, maybe your title rep, a few good Google searches. If you use ChatGPT, tell it to cite sources, but you'll find that information. Then you're going to look for the migratory cities that people are moving from your town to. So the first is incoming referrals. The second is outgoing referrals. At the event, we're going to go to networking events. We're going to talk to our neighbors. We're going to look on the app and we're going to find agents from those cities by asking great questions like, hey, where are you from? And when you meet agents who aren't from those cities, ask them, know any great agents in this city or that city? Because of our revenue share system, likely the agents who are there are going to know a ton of great agents in those cities and be able to introduce you to people on site. By the way, ask your sponsor before you go to help introduce you to folks at that event. They'll know whoever their sponsor is and their sponsors is and their sponsors is. They'll know plenty of agents in those towns that they can introduce you to in person. You guys can build friendships and referral relationships as well. That's referrals. Now we're going to talk about how you're going to leverage the training at the event to grow your business. And two parts there. First is what you know you don't know. There's 75 plus breakout sessions during this event, plus masterminds, X Camp, 4 general sessions, certifications, and more. Plenty of opportunities to learn about whatever it is that you want to learn about. Whether you're planning to add a new lead generation source, you want to maybe start building a team, you want to maybe start your attraction revenue share organization, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Be intentional about it. We're going to post the agenda long before the event so you can map out what sessions you want to go to. And by the way, we have a ton of different tracks where you will have a session during each time slot for the breakouts in that track for new agents, experienced solo agents, teams, attraction, luxury, commercial, one EXP groups, whatever you're looking for, will likely have a session there at the event for you to go to. And by the way, we're only putting the very best of the best of the topics at hand up on those stages. So you're getting the very best advice. So that's what you don't know. But then there's what you don't know. And if you go to all the different breakout time slots, if you go to the 4 general sessions, to the networking events, and all the other things there that are available at EXPcon, I'm going to make you a bet. I'm going to bet that you walk away with at least 3 ideas that you weren't even looking for that are going to help you grow your business. And I'm betting it's 3. Now, if you get there and it's only 2 or 1, come find me. I'll give you the extras to get you to your 3 just from all the things I'm learning at the event, because I go to all the breakout sessions that I can as well so that I can learn while I'm there. So come find me if you don't get your 3, but I'm betting you get more than 3. And I want to hear from those who got like 15, 33 great ideas. I want to hear what your ideas are. All right. So that's how you make this trip pay for itself. Now, here's how you make this trip priceless. Go to the opening party. Go to all the different agent meetups. I heard one revenue share org is going to have Wyclef Jean playing there, for crying out loud. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then go to the beach party at the end. We're going to be on South Beach in Miami for the closing party. That doesn't suck. All right. I hope that helps you make this an investment, not an expense. And I really hope to see you there in person in Miami. Go to expcon.exprealty.com today to register for the event, and then take a look at the agenda and start mapping out what you're going to learn while you're there at the event. Can't wait to see you.
All right, there you go. Bryon Ellington laying it down, breaking it out on why you guys should go to EXPcon. Let me tell you guys, I'm literally standing in Phoenix right now. Just finished a couple sessions with some of our top people. And man, I'll tell you what, it is super hard to feel inspired when things are just pounding you and getting hit from every which direction. It's really important that you understand that there are people doing what you're doing and finding ways of being successful regardless of what's going on in the market. We're hoping to see some good things for the 4th quarter, hoping to see interest rates drop down a little bit, but with interest rates dropping down a little bit, potentially you're going to probably see housing supplies actually drop off again in some of these markets, which is going to make supply even harder and going to drive prices up a little bit. So you guys want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are figuring out a way to be successful. Even just understanding that, we're in this together. As an industry, we're in this together. Getting together is super important. EXPcon is going to be one place where you guys can get the best of the best and actually have people open their playbook and show you exactly what they're doing today in today's market, not what they did in 1975 when they were a new realtor and they sold 45 houses one year. What are they doing today to get a bunch of homes sold? Get a bunch of things moving in the real estate business. That's what we're talking about at EXPcon. So make sure you guys, you still have time to register, get your tickets coming up next month. See you in a couple weeks there. All right, so there you go. So let's drop into the Agent Advantage, which is one of our affiliate businesses that EXP has cultivated for you guys to be able to have the tools that you need to put a couple more dollars in your pocket with this particular one and make your business a little easier. So here's a quick summary of what's going on with Utility Connect. If you haven't seen that, check out Utility Connect now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amalle, and I am the Partner Success for Utility Connect. I have had the pleasure of meeting and working with many of you with all of your Utility Connect needs. But for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, I'm so glad that you're here as part of the Agent Advantage section during this week's Big Agent meeting. Really quickly, I just want to refresh everyone on Utility Connect and all of the benefits. So for those of you who have already been using us, you already know how much of a game changer this has been for you and your clients during closing. But for those of you who haven't had the chance to learn about our program or get started with it yet, I just want to give you the short and sweet. So I know all of you have gone through this before, where imagine this. During closing, you close that deal, your client is thrilled, and then imagine if you get paid again out of nowhere. No extra contracts, no hidden fees, and no time stolen out of your pipeline. That's what happens with Utility Connect. And yes, this is real money in your pocket for doing what you're already doing. So I know what you're probably already thinking. That sounds too good to be true. Nothing is free, especially not money. So, but here's the truth. In real estate, agents are nickel and dimed for everything: leads, marketing, tech platforms. You pay for it all. But Utility Connect actually flips the script with that. Our concierge service is truly free for you and for your clients. No hidden fees, no gotchas, just pure value. So, you know how we were talking about closing week? Your clients are juggling movers, internet setup, utility transfers. It can be chaos. And where do they look when they're stressed out? Right at you. But here's the problem. If you're helping clients through all of that, it's actually eating into your time, the same time that you should be using to focus on your next closing. So you're stuck with this trade off where you're either the superhero that helps your client navigate this chaos, or you stay focused on production and then you risk losing that client connection. So that's where Utility Connect is going to change the game for you. We will be your client's personal concierge service, handling utilities, internet, movers, security, all those home services, all in one simple phone call. So your clients will get that VIP move-in experience, but it will have your name attached to it. You don't lift a finger, you don't do any of that, and you still get paid for it. So instead of being drained by closing week, you actually look like the hero and your bank account will agree. So I want to go ahead and share the dashboard link with you. So agents who are already signed up with Utility Connect, check your account. There are already agents checking their account and finding money they didn't even know was there. So here's your next step right now. If you already have an account, scan this QR code and check your commission balance. Don't leave that money sitting in there. And if you haven't signed up yet, here is that sign up link for you. So take the 30 seconds to activate it. That is all that it takes to add this new revenue stream for yourself and instantly elevate your client's experience. I mean, check it out. 11,000 five-star reviews. We are the leading concierge service in this space, and we want to make you look like a rock star and pay you for it. Just to kind of wrap everything up here, Utility Connect is not about changing what you already do. It's about multiplying the impact. It's free for you, it's free for your clients, and yes, get paid alongside the same closings that you are already winning. And you know who to contact if you need anything.
All right, there you go. Utility Connect. If you guys hadn't seen Utility Connect before, the cool part is you already need them anyway. Buyers got to get all their utilities connected. So if you make the connection to them and they help the buyer connect to their utilities, you can get a little bit of piece of that every single month. Hey guys, listen, it's not a massive amount of dollars, but man, they start to add up. And they could add up to a massive amount of dollars. If you do this with buyer after buyer after buyer every year, you can have a scenario where this starts to add up, where you get a little bit of royalty income. You did the work. You get the royalty income for making that connection, letting them make the connection. So check out Utility Connect. If you don't know where that is, check that out today. You already know. Now you know. All right, so there you go. University Spotlight is coming up next. Alyssa Specht, one of my favorite people, is going to tell you guys what's going on in university. Take it away, Alyssa.
What's up, Big Agent Meeting? It's Alyssa Specht with your weekly scoop on all things EXP University. And next week is jam-packed with strategy, with systems, and straight up gold from some of the most brilliant minds in the business. So let's check it out. Come along with me. Starting on Monday, we've got Level Up with Dustin Olson. Now, let's be real. Your Google business profile is one of the most underrated tools in your business, and it's time to make it work for you. Now, Dustin Olson is a 5th-gen real estate pro, and he's showing you how to optimize your profile to rank higher, get more 5-star reviews, and turn those views into actual clients. So join us for Level Up on Monday. Then let's take a look over at Thursday. Thursday, we're back with another amazing executive masterclass with the wonderful Mr. Russ Laggan. Now, this one's called Listings Made Simple, and you know that we love simple and scalable. So Russ Laggan, he's a VP of growth. He is diving into listing strategies that help you convert at a higher level, build a business with some staying power, and attract the right agents and clients for long-term growth. It's big ideas, proven tactics, and you don't want to miss it. And next up, join us on Friday for Real Estate Success Stories. We've got Leo Pareja. We have John Lee Dumas, host of Entrepreneurs on Fire, on one stage. This week's success story episode is all about niching down to scale up, the role of AI in building influence, and the systems behind sustainable success. So if you have ever asked yourself, what should I be focusing on right now to grow? This is your blueprint. But we are not done. On Friday as well, join us for the Lab podcast with Anthony Tomasini. So we're wrapping this week with some serious team building insight. He's just going to talk about leading one of the largest ISA power teams in North America. He'll be sharing how he uses dashboards and data to drive performance and talking about some AI tools to boost accountability. So guys, we've got a lot going on next week. Tag your team, plug it into your calendar, and I'll see you there.
All right, there you go. Now you guys know what's going on in university. We've always got great stuff at your fingertips. There is way more to see at university than you ever would have time for. So find the stuff that you need to add to your business and check it out at university. All right, so there you go. So that is a show for this week. If you guys haven't figured it out, every Friday, 11 o'clock, we're going to be doing this. And we have a QR code to have you guys be able to give us feedback. So jump that QR code, put it on your phone, take a look at it, open that up, and give us a scale rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we did this week on a scale of 1 to 10. If you love the show, give us a 10. If we got some things we need to improve, don't hesitate to throw some notes in there. We always take a look at those. Make sure we're trying to make sure this is the best show for you and you get out of it what you need. All right, so last but not least, before we end, we're going to end with a video saying congratulations to all the icons from August, directly followed by iConversations. That is the show for today, September 12th. Look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks at EXPcon, and I'll see you next week on Big Agent Meeting. Roll the video.